Okay, just a minute.
President, we're live now.
Okay.
We're live now. We're live now, President.
Okay, that's good.
Right. 17 February 2025. And today I'm joined by my one of my most popular guests, General Rwende. How are you, General?
I am super and well, Gambakwe. How are you?
Fantastic. So today I've got very little to say because you are the expert and we want to talk about the current situation taking place in Zimbabwe. Specifically, what is happening, what is the status, who is in charge, who are the key players. Please go ahead and take us through everything that you know.
Okay, thank you, Gambakwe, and I want to thank the listeners today. Today is a special day, actually, is the presser that you see from Emmerson Mnangagwa. That presser reminds us of 2017, when Robert Mugabe, when they put him under house arrest. Robert Mugabe went on about with his presidential duties and press conferences. The same thing that we are seeing today. As you see Emmerson Mnangagwa, look at the body posture when he was talking in the presser today. It clearly shows you that the power is not in his hands. There are people that are forcing him to say something and he does not want to say it. As we all know, he came about and say, I am the one who created the intelligence. I'm the one who is the father of intelligence in Zimbabwe. So he's still running with that narrative. And today he wanted to push the narrative to say that he's a constitutionalist and he does not know Wicknell Chivayo. If he did something wrong, the police can get involved, and he's doing the philanthropic work, which I can say it is a narrative that he wants to change. Since we are in the midst of the Geza revolution, some they are calling it the Geza revolution, some they are calling it's a chaos. But what I can say is Emmerson Mnangagwa, as we speak, he's not in control of anything. He is trying to change the narrative, and his family actually they are pushing him to let go. But him, we all know that he does not want to let go. Same like Robert Mugabe. But Robert Mugabe had a reason that he does not have anyone to give. But Emmerson, there is someone to give. There is a lot of people that are capable of running Zimbabwe. But he is simply saying that, guys, I'm supposed to go in 2028. Why do you want me to go now? And I'm a constitutionalist. You should take my word for it. But people are not taking his word, because we all know him that he will indicate right and he will go left. If he claims that he is a constitutionalist and his words, we should take him by his words, people should stop doing these rallies that they are doing, the 2030 rallies, and embarrassing themselves, building one rooms for war veterans. That is nonsense. We have a social disconnect in our country, and you go around and giving $200 and building a one-roomed house for war veterans who are simply telling you that, look, the country is a mess. There is nothing that is working, from our health system to our governing system. Nothing is working. So I think it is time to have a transitional government, and we can all regroup and refresh and do a self-introspective. But he is still clinging on to power by the toes. As we speak, he's clinging on to power with the toes, which clearly shows that Geza has some sort of power, is wielding the power that can actually make a difference in Zimbabwe. Because if it's not, Mnangagwa wouldn't do the presser that he did today. And if Geza was not powerful, he could have been arrested as we speak. So which means Geza is more powerful than Emmerson Mnangagwa, because as we all know, the energy that Emerson has and the energy that he brought today is two different things. It clearly states that he's somehow incapacitated with the situation, not him being sick. Please pardon my French. And I would want to say, look, Gezai, he clearly stated his location, KG6, in the barracks. If anyone is looking for him, why don't they go there and take him? They know there is a Politburo member, a high-ranking Politburo member, which means if you are a high-ranking Politburo member, they know where you stay. They know even if you have 20 houses, they know all of them. So why are they appealing to the people that we're looking for Geza? It clearly shows you that they want to push a narrative. And the same narrative that they push him to do a press conference today. But you can see that the life within Emerson Mnangagwa, the energy that he had today, is different. It clearly shows you that there is negotiations and a push that is coming from somewhere. And the other issue that I know that happened is Emerson Mnangagwa is the chairperson of SADC. So since he's leading SADC, it's not easy to just remove him from power and replace him with someone else. There is a protocol also that has to be observed in the SADC region, in that office of the chairperson of SADC. So if we remove Emerson Mnangagwa, we have to come up with a very, very thorough narrative or a thorough answer that why did we do it? And it does not have to seem like a coup, because if it's a coup, we need to sell the coup to the international world, and we have to sell it starting from the SADC region. Yes, it's easy to sell it to the people of Zimbabwe, but it's not easy to sell a coup to the SADC region and to the international world, which means we're back to square one. That's another issue. The other issue now, it's about the nitty-gritties of the whole situation. Emerson, if we remove Emerson Mnangagwa today, the constitution clearly states that the vice president will take over. But we all know where did we get our vice president, General Juenga. I'm not saying he did a bad thing, or I'm not saying he's involved. I'm not insinuating anything, but hypothetically, we might say he's pushing on his side, or there are people who are pushing for him, hypothetically. But if Mnangagwa goes, he's the rightful person to take over. But now, it will clearly show that it was a coup that was orchestrated by Gouvernement Juenga, which is going to be a hard sell to the international world. So we have a problem now. Who are we going to give the presidency if we remove Emerson Mnangagwa as we speak? And the rumor has it that people are saying Shoni Mnangagwa in the KG6 barracks. He's not in the KG6 barracks. He's on leave. He's at home. From the midst, in this chaos, they managed to give him a leave. He's at home as we speak. And he's not in KG6, and he's not involved in anything that is happening now. You all know that he was removed from the barracks to be in the detail, the president detail, which means he's a bodyguard for his father. So wherever his father is, that's where he will be. But now, wherever Mnangagwa is, you cannot see Sean because he's on leave. So the KG6 is not in KG6. He is at home. And the family of Mnangagwa is still in Zimbabwe, not because they want to be in Zimbabwe, because they cannot go outside. The rumor has it that they are actually being contained at the first family's house, because there are negotiations that are taking place. There are so many things that are happening now. Some people, they are telling him to go. Some people, they want him to step down with immediate effect. Some, they'll say, let him finish his term. So the camp now, they're divided. And the other camp are saying General Juenga should take over. the other camp is actually pondering on the national transitional government, that's where we are as Zimbabweans. But according to my own perspective, a national transitional government will be better, because a national transitional government is led by people who do not have any party agendas. Because once we subject ourselves into party agendas, everyone has to go and report to his party, which means everyone will bring their own party philosophy and party ideologies, and they will forget the national ideology that Zimbabwe needs to be, we need to rebuild Zimbabwe. Since we have nothing, we are rich, but we have nothing, and we're still 45 years back. If we add the 7 years that we fought the liberation struggle, we are 50 years behind, which means we need people that are going to put Zimbabwe first, rebuilding Zimbabwe, restructuring the system of Zimbabwe. How do we govern our country? So basically, that's where we are now. And we need all hands on deck on this national transitional government, whereby, regardless of our political diversities, with Zimbabweans, we only leave that bracket like that as Zimbabwean people, not as ZANU-PF, Triple C, MDC. We come together as one people, we form a national transitional government that will take over for years. Army also, it's a stakeholder, as we base our constitution on the army basis, because the founding document of the army is still the same founding document of our constitution, because it was based on that Mnangagwa declaration, which became the founding document of ZNA, and that ZNA became the custodian of the constitution. So army is a stakeholder, and everyone within Zimbabwe, the National Teachers Association, the religion leaders, all the church leaders, all the students, and all the technocrats. Sorry to say the technocrats, but that's the word that we can use. Everyone who is going to get a job, it should be on merit, not a party seniority or party background. That's the only way to move Zimbabwe to the front. I'm not against ZANU-PF or Triple C or MDC, but I'm against the ideology of Isai Nini Chete, Doramba ndiripo ndosvika 2030. Yes, we appreciate whatever that we have done, even though no one is perfect. No one is perfect, but as a human being, acknowledge what you have done wrong and move on. You will find out that if Mnangagwa steps down now, we will have a former president that we will consult on to say, former president, we have faced this challenge. What would you have done if you were the president? And you will advise us on that, which is a good thing. And you still have your benefits. You still live like a president. If you are a former president, you will still live like a president. You have your detail. You will have your house. You will have your benefits to go wherever you want to get your medical attention on. You still have all those benefits. Your diplomatic passport, your diplomatic accounts, you still have them. So I don't see it as a deprivation from stepping down of being a president. So if I was Mnangagwa, I would have stepped down happily and know that I will still live in my country and I will still have to interact with the government, because they will all come back to me and say, former president, if I were you, if this situation happened when you were in the office, what were you going to do? That's how I see things. I don't know Kananda.
Okay, General, I did that on purpose. I let you speak because you give us a lot more information when I don't interject. But I want us to wrap up and focus on what you said about Sean Mnangagwa. How powerful is Sean Mnangagwa? Is he able to launch an attack like what we've had? And you say that is at home. Who is spreading that rumor that Sean Mnangagwa carried out an attack?
That's a lie. He is a lieutenant. A lieutenant. a lieutenant leads a team of it's a 4-team squad. He's the fifth one as a lieutenant. So I don't see him with that much influence as a lieutenant. Yes, he's the son of the president. He is well known, but in the army structures, they will not allow him to launch any attack. He's a junior lieutenant in the army. Yes, he's been trained in China, he's been trained in Russia, and he's been trained at home, and he managed to become a lieutenant, but he can't launch an attack. He still need more years to jump into the attack stages. Hanze zvoto zvine mazera Gambako. Zvoto zvine mazera. He cannot jump stages and jump into our grandfather's league. League ira akwani. He still don't understand a lot of things.
All right. So let's say there's no attack from Mnangagwa's side. Mnangagwa's family is restrained and constrained. What is happening right now at the barracks? What is the plan and the thought process going on inside the military right now?
What I can tell you, Gambako, is the military. It's a tree with a lot of branches and a lot of thinking to do. They control the power. They control politics. They control everything. So what's happening in the barracks as we speak? It's a normal day. It's a normal day whereby they don't stop thinking. They don't stop training, and they don't stop thinking. They keep on thinking every possible scenario. As people should understand one thing. The army, they don't just hold guns and fight. They don't just do push-ups in the barracks. What they do is they will wake up and say, guys, if Zimbabwe has to be attacked with a bioweapon, a chemical weapon, what would it look like? And how do we counter it? How do we prevent it? Then they'll come up with ways. They will actually create the weapon, that biochemical. After creating it and find a way to contain it. If they have to create a vaccine, they'll create it within the barracks. And you never know what's happening. So the army, they will not stop thinking. They will keep on thinking every possible scenario because they have to have an actual the outcome. They have to know the outcome, anticipate. Some you will say they have to anticipate, but them, they have to know exactly what's going to happen. They don't just do things not knowing where is it gonna end. So in this scenario, they are trying to create a narrative. If we do this, where it should end, and how do we sanitize it, and how do we sell it to the people? How do we sell it to the international world? How do we sell it in SADC? The Zimbabwean people might buy it, but would SADC buy it? Would the international world buy it? So those things they sit down and think every day. Sometimes they don't even sleep thinking all possible scenarios. So in mabaraks amusikungoitwa mapush-ups chete. Mune vanhu vari kutofunga. They wake up, wear that uniform and think. Ndo basa rake kungofunga chete. What is the outcome? If it does not go this way, if it goes this way, what is the end game? If it goes this way, what's going to happen? How do we counter it? How do we prevent any catastrophic events to happen? They think, and they write them down. They actually think something else, write it down to the dot. They keep it there. They go to the next one. Okay, this scenario is done. Let's go to the next one. Like an essay. There are people who are doing that every day. So they are thinking maybe 50 years from now. They are thinking 100 years from now. We have AI. So these days you'll see they're trying to utilize every strategy through AI. And what can it? Is it going to damage Zimbabwe? Is it going to protect Zimbabwe? How can we make it protect Zimbabwe? That's why you see them in countries like Rwanda, because Rwanda is utilizing the AI. So they are not only thinking about Mnangagwa, they are thinking about Zimbabwe, and they're thinking about themselves as an army, because army don't do things only for today. They do it for years to come after they are gone. And it's not only badges they get that is a 5-star general. There is actually evidence of him being a 5-star general. Zimbabwe, yeah, we have a 5-star general. Those stars, they have the real work that he has done comes with that star. And whatever that he has done, it's there, it's written down. You can actually go and study it if you are in the army. So
Okay.
they are not
So,
only thinking about Mnangagwa.
right. I see what you're saying, that they're thinking broadly and not about Mnangagwa only. Now let's go to a topic that you know more than anyone else, which is the Middle East. You have spent years in the Middle East, and the royal family of Dubai has invited Mnangagwa last week to come and visit. What is that all about? Is Mnangagwa going to go over there and live in Dubai?
Okay, the Middle East is a complex world. It's different than Zimbabwe because these guys they run their countries with based on religion and based on what we say culture and religion, and it's complex whereby it only runs through lineage and royalty, which means today you might wake up with they might wake up with another decision. Tomorrow the brother takes over, he has another direction, and it's not communicated. They don't consult the public. They just do things the way they want secretly. So you might never know. As we all know that the only thing that Mnangagwa will go to Dubai for is selling gold and just fill deals in China for some medication. That's the only thing that he can do, because Dubai, they buy gold. That's what they do. Every African country is selling gold to Dubai. So what Mnangagwa was doing in Dubai besides selling gold? He's selling gold. Because if it was a state visit, or they are inviting him to stay in Dubai, you could have seen the sheikh at the airport. You could have seen him at the airport, and they could have announced it as a state visit. So
Okay.
if things are done
Okay, I
this
think I'm going to unpack that for you. I'll provide the actual footage where they asked him to come and visit in Dubai. Does he have a house over there? Do we have people or government people in Zimbabwe who've got houses in Dubai or in UAE?
Dubai, yes, they do sell private property and private islands, and Dubai is expanding itself in terms of infrastructure. So yes, there are so many high-ranking members of not Zimbabwe only, people from all over the world buying islands in Dubai, the floating islands, the floating houses, and property inside Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Yes, it's possible because he has the money, he has the means, and Dubai welcomes everyone who has the means. As long as you bring them gold, you are welcome. So yes, it might be possible that he has property in Dubai. But
Okay.
if it was a state visit, it could have been announced, but it was not announced.
Okay. Then in terms of people leaving Zimbabwe, according to my sources, so many people have left Zimbabwe, high-ranking people. Do you think many people in ZANU-PF have left? What is that all about? What is it going to look like in the coming weeks?
You know, I'm laughing because we simply in 2017. What happened when they summoned Robert Mugabe and gave him a speech to recite, like what happened today? The speech that you see Mnangagwa was reading, he was given a speech to recite. Same thing that happened to Robert Mugabe. And where his ministers, they had already gone. Same thing that is happening to Emmerson Mnangagwa today. Some of his ministers, they ran already because they know what they have done and they know what is coming. Once these guys, these war veterans, remember the war veterans are an army on reserve. It's a reserved army. When they count our army, the war veterans are counted as reserved, which means they have some sort of power. and they have actually that power to go and sit in a joint meeting. When they say the Joint Chiefs meeting, the Army Joint Chiefs meeting, the war veterans, they are included there, which means whatever that is happening today with Mnangagwa and his ministers, it's not surprising that some of them are already out. Yes, I know some people that are out already. I will not say their names, but I know already some ministers that are already out. And we are back in 2017. But this time is different because there are so many factors to consider. That time they were.
But why are members of the opposition running?
They were actually reasons. It was within reason because we were talking about 43 years. But now we are talking about 9 years or 10 years. And a SADC chairperson. And that there's a protocol for SADC and there's a protocol for us Zimbabweans. And we have to sell it after whatever that we are going to do. We have to sell it to the international world. We have to sell it to SADC because if we go through with the coup and it's categorized as a coup, automatically we fall under sanctions. And we don't want to go under sanctions with the current situation that we have in Zimbabwe. And at the same time, if we are sanctioned by SADC and sanctioned by any Western or Eastern countries or African Union or United Nations, we are a landlocked country. We will starve to death, which the situation will be worse. So there are so many factors to be considered this time, but we are back to 2017. November 2017.
All right. So, General, I don't want to keep you.
I'm so sorry.
Is there anything else that you want to say before we close?
What I can say now is Zimbabweans, let's all do a self introspective at this moment. Let's look where we came from, what we have done, what we have accomplished. What do we want? Yes, Geza, he has a very good story. Ane mashoko atinokwanisa kunzwisisana tese tobva tabvumirana kuti ichokwadi. But ngatigarei pasi tikwanise ivo vakataura zvavari kuda. They have said what they want, but did we say what we want? They are calling us to protest. They are calling us to back them in their endeavor of removing Emmerson Mnangagwa. But did we tell them what we want as the citizens of Zimbabwe, as the people of Zimbabwe? Because our opinion matters also, and we hold more power than them because the power comes from us citizens. So did we tell them what we want? Are we going to tell them what we want for us to back them? That's all I can say. But let's sit down, think again. Ngatisa zvikwanisei pane dzimwe nhano dzekuti tinozochema tichiti dai takaziva. Like 2017 takafarira ng'anga yakabata mai, asi pari zvino taakuziva. Saka what we have missed on 2017, let's do it 2025. What is it? Let's tell them what we want. For you guys, for us to back you, we want 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have an agreement, a memorandum of association, memorandum of understanding. Then we know that kana uya abviswa pachapindwa uyu, papinda uyu, chibvumirano chedu chakati chakati nechakati nechakati nechakati. Ngapange paine a memorandum of understanding yekuti tikwanise kuenda mumastreet tobvumirana senyika. All the citizens in Zimbabwe, we should understand that. I thank you. Gambakwe, thank you for the opportunity for me to be with you. But your network, I don't know what's happening.
Yes, I understand, President. I've been traveling the whole day and these things happen. So I really appreciate what you've said. Let's summarize everything that you've said here so that people can understand. You said the Mnangagwa family is currently constrained and basically they are under some sort of control of the army. And the speech by Mnangagwa this afternoon was handed to him to read and his son, Sean Mnangagwa, is currently at home, not in the army, not at the barracks, as he's been told to go home. And currently, the control is with the war veterans and with the army. Is there anything else that I have left? What is going to happen next? I think we need to clarify there. How long is it going to take? What is going to happen? You said that SADC is an important factor. So what should we expect within the next few days?
You never know now, because you can't. They will not expose what is the next move until it's done. Remember what happened in 2017? Makazungumuka masoja ari road. They were forcing Robert Mugabe. They had two plans actually. One is to negotiate with him and make him resign, which did not work. And the next thing, they were going for an impeachment. And once the impeachment was in process, Mugabe agreed to resign. So there were two plans that were in motion at the same time, and people were in the streets protesting that Mugabe should go. So that's the same thing that is happening now. But this is happening without the people in the streets. When you see people in the streets, which means they have failed to reach an agreement. When an agreement is reached, you will not see the people in the streets. But if they don't reach an agreement, it will hit up to whereby they will call everyone to the streets and say, let's stop everything, and this is what we want. You do it or you're not going to do it. Now it's a negotiation stage. But if they fail to get the resolution, that's where people are called to the streets, and they do what they did 2017. But I don't think we are going to reach that stage, because Mukuru Mnasi, if you look at Mukuru today, he was not himself. He did not have the hyper, like always. Somewhere, somehow, something is going to give.
And before you go, I forgot to ask you the most important question. This picture of Valerio and Mnangagwa, did you make anything of it? General, are you still there?
Okay. Sorry for that, my voice. Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry. Look at the picture. It clearly shows you that Valerio is there to protect the man, not on his official duty that he's supposed to be there in uniform. He's there because, as we speak, if something happens to Mnangagwa now, it becomes a coup, which we don't want, which the army also don't want, because it's hard to sell a coup now. We are already in a deep situation where if we go on with a coup, we are not going to sell it. We are going back to square zero, where we are under sanctions and we are not going to move for the next 10, 15 years. And things will get worse. And it will not make sense that we removed Mnangagwa and we will go deeper into the mess that we are already in. So Mnangagwa, as we speak, they have to protect him also, because if they don't protect him, something happens to him. It becomes a coup.
Okay, did you see something else in this picture? Did you see something else in that picture?
These bodyguards are far away. They are not even interested in what's happening.
No, I'm saying something else. I want to show this picture again so that you can see what I'm talking about. Look at Mnangagwa, between Mnangagwa and the car.
Yes, I see the bodyguard facing the other side. Is it the bodyguard or is...
I think that's Sean.
No, that's not him. Yeah, I see. I see the side. In front.
I think that's Sean. Yes, Sean over there.
In front of the.
That's Sean Mnangagwa over here. And you're right. He's not in his uniform.
Yes, in front of. Yes, he's not in his uniform. He's not on duty.
So I think
he's not on duty.
I basically want to say we're in a critical moment, like you've said. And what we're going to do is every evening we're going to be coming to discuss this issue. Starting today, obviously, we're going to be following this. We're going to even add other broadcasts during the day so that people get to understand what's going on. There are many people that I talk to every day, including people in the security structures, and there are many players involved. But I know that you know a lot because of where you are and because of the kind of work that you do. And I'm sorry for keeping on saying goodbye and not ending the conversation. It's just that it's so interesting.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Gambagwe. The thing that we need to understand as Zimbabweans is it's good for us to talk because we have a social disconnect. Our social fabric is toxic. We always argue, and we have become analysts and good in analyzation, but no action. So it's good that we talk and people understand where we are. That might bring some sort of clarity, and once we have clarity, we will know where to go. I thank you, Gambakwe, for today, even though you have said goodbye 10 times, but I will still appreciate.
Thank you very much, General. I just came off a flight, and my head is always like that when I have a long flight. Thank you very much, General, and I hope to see you again sometime, maybe tomorrow.
Yes, it's fine. Thank you, Gambakwe.
Thank you very much, everyone, and a good night to everyone. And apologies to everyone that I've not managed to talk to today. I've got over 200 messages on my phone, so I'll get to them overnight and I'll reply everyone before the end of the day. Thank you very much, everyone, and a good night to you all.
You have failed this nation. You have failed us, and you have succeeded to put your family on the fore as one of the worst, the most hated in the history of the world. It is clear to us that Mnangagwa is failed. He is not fit to run this country, and his time to go is now.
Anovura meso, anovura nzebe, anogaya marigi. Kambakwe doti kom, wangele doti kom usasaire. Kambakwe anogaya marigi.
Kambakwe uyo, anotara mari, anogaya mari, garai mamunzwa. Paninya pano zvamunoda kunzwa zvinotaurwa pano madiko kumunzwa mugova ne.com. Kambakwe vanogaya mari, vanotaura mari, vanoziya mari. Kambakwe vanotaura peya kuti pamberi zvichafamba sei. Vanhu terere zvikubatsirei mukufamba kwenyu, zvikubatsirei. Mirai ndikudze kuti chokwadi pano chizere. Kambakwe vanogaya cash, vanopa mafacts, vanotaura straight, vane evidence, vane confidence plus intelligence plus intelligence.
Entertainment, current affairs and news. Kambakwe.com. Usasarire, Kambakwe anogaya mari.